What's up guys, it's Toby here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And Liverpool are considering making a late attacking transfer move in the last few days of the transfer window, and I'm really excited to bring you this news because Liverpool are about to bid for Lucas Ocampos, the Sevilla winger, the Sevilla attacker. Has been on Liverpool's radar for some time, but this is the first very serious story about him coming out from Spain. So in this video we will talk in detail about this report and also what he could bring to Liverpool and what his career looks like so far. So if you enjoy these transfer news updates, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the bell notification so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news update. And I want to say a huge thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring my channel for this month. OneFootball is the home of football, my favorite app. I've been using it for years. You can find all kinds of football news on there, and also you can find the stats, the latest transfer news. I have been going there almost every day checking the Liverpool transfer news because they combine the best and most interesting transfer news and football news. And you can find also interesting videos, stats, analysis, fantasy football tips and all kinds of interesting football related content on the OneFootball apps, and it's completely free. So what are you waiting for? Make sure to download OneFootball using the link in the video's description, and you support the channel as well that way. And according to Spanish publication Fichajes, Liverpool are considering signing Sevilla winger Lucas Ocampos as an attacking option. Liverpool have freed up a space in attack since Xherdan Shaqiri signed for Lyon, and Shaqiri started for Lyon and played the full 90 minutes, I think. Lyon won for the first time this season with Shaqiri in the team, 1-0, and Liverpool are looking to sign an attacking player because against Chelsea it looked like Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp didn't really trust the likes of the likes of Minamino and Divock Origi to come off the bench and to impact the game and to try and score the winner against Chelsea. Sadio Mane didn't have a great second half, but he was kept on all the way by Jurgen Klopp because our attacking options from the bench are not ideal. Look at other teams and what kind of bench options they have. When Ronaldo starts for Man United, they will have Mason Greenwood and also other attacking options, like even they could have Anthony Martial coming off the bench, Marcus Rashford coming off the bench. Chelsea had Hakim Ziyech, Christian Pulisic, two very good players on the bench yesterday, and Liverpool have Divock Origi and Takumi Minamino. So that's the worry for Liverpool, and I think that's why it's justified that Liverpool go out and sign Lucas Ocampos, who signed for Sevilla in 2019 from Marseille, and he helped Sevilla secure Europa League football in his first season, and in his second season he helped Sevilla secure Champions League football. And he is an Argentina international. He started off his career at River Plate, and then he went to Monaco in France, and then he went to Marseille, but he also spent half a season at Genoa and half a season at AC Milan on loan. And at Marseille in the 2017-18 season he had a brilliant season, scoring 16 goals in 53 matches. And after he signed for Sevilla, his first season was absolutely amazing, scoring 17 goals in 44 games. Considering he's not an out-and-out striker, that's brilliant. Last season for Sevilla he had a subdued season, but Sevilla didn't score as many goals as the season before, but still he scored 8 goals in 46 games, so he was a regular in the Sevilla team, and he is also an Argentina international footballer. He already has 2 goals in 8 appearances for Argentina. So in total, on average, Ocampos scores 10 to 15 goals on average a season in a Sevilla side, and I think he could slot in perfectly for Liverpool. Yes, he still has another 3 years left on his contract, and that is the only problem with this, is that probably Sevilla would ask for a lot of money to sell Ocampos because he is one of their starting players, but because they signed Eric Lamela and he has been doing well for Sevilla, he's already their top scorer, and recently he scored a winning goal in the last minute to win the game for Sevilla. And And because they have Lamela, I think if Liverpool go in with a serious bid, and we already sold players worth around 50-55 million pounds in the transfer market, we have money to spend. But I think Liverpool are saving it for a big attacking transfer. Could that be Ocampos? Maybe. But are Liverpool maybe trying to hold off on making a big attacking move until next summer? Because I think next summer will be a major rebuild at Liverpool. They will try and get in a lot of world-class players, and probably we are saving money for the next summer transfer window. Maybe if Mbappe or Haaland are available, Liverpool maybe are saving money for that. But those are not guarantees. Mbappe could still sign for Real Madrid. At the moment, Paris Saint-Germain are thinking about accepting Real Madrid's 180 million euro transfer offer for a player who only has 10 months left on his contract. That's a huge offer, and even Paris Saint-Germain will think long and hard about it. But if Mbappe stays at PSG, he will become a free agent next summer, so maybe Liverpool are saving money for that. And Liverpool are not having a lot of depth when it comes to wingers. Yes, we have Salah, yes, we have Mane, but both of them will go out to the Africa Cup of Nations. And also Bobby Firmino picked up a hamstring injury. It looks like he could only be out for 2 or 3 weeks, but if it's any more serious and he could be out for 1 or 2 months, then Liverpool surely have to make a move in the transfer market, because already we will be pretty short, pretty light in the attacking areas. And Liverpool don't really have an out-and-out striker. It was pretty evident against Chelsea that we lacked a big presence in the box. Somebody who can hold the ball up and play it off to other players. And yes, we have Diogo Jota, but he's not a natural striker. Bobby Firmino is not a natural striker either. He's a false number 9. He's more of an attacking midfielder or a defensive striker, if you want to call him that. And yes, Firmino started his career as an attacking midfielder, and he was transformed into a number 9 during his time at Anfield. But Firmino's poor goal-scoring form last season raised a lot of concerns, especially which that was compounded by Sadio Mane having a big goal drought as well. And during this league campaign, Jurgen Klopp has opted to start Diogo Jota down the middle and Firmino coming on late in games. That was changed against Chelsea, but then Firmino had to be subbed off in the 41st minute because of an injury, hamstring injury. Jurgen Klopp confirmed after the Chelsea game that it's a hamstring injury, and that's worrying because hamstring injury could be 3 months as well if it's very serious. Liverpool are still waiting on the exact details of a scan. And if Liverpool had an out-and-out striker who they could trust to start week in, week out, Diogo Jota could start on the left, and Divock Origi has failed to make any sort of impact in the last season. Origi played only 181 minutes, which is 2 games in total last season in the Premier League. That's very, very little. So it's very clear that something happened. Jurgen Klopp doesn't fancy Origi anymore. He used to be a great striker. He scored a lot of goals in the season where we finished with 97 points in the Premier League and we won the Champions League. But after that, something happened, and it looks like Origi is done, is not an effective striker anymore. Especially if Jurgen Klopp doesn't use him that much, it means that he sees in training that maybe Origi is not the same player as he was before. And Lucas Ocampos could offer that depth and quality for Liverpool. Minamino, another centre forward who can play out wide, was also not in Jurgen Klopp's immediate plans this season. He was sent out on loan to Southampton for the second half of last season, and Ocampos has established himself as a key figure at Sevilla. I think now that Liverpool got serious money in the bank, we should sign an attacking player, because I think if we don't, we will ultimately regret that. What if Firmino's injury is serious, and then what if Salah gets injured? Who will score the goals with Liverpool? That's the problem, because I think from midfield, Liverpool just don't even have one midfielder who regularly scores goals. I mean, last season our best goal-scoring midfielder scored like 3 goals in total all season in the Premier League, which was pretty poor. So I think Liverpool need another attacking player who could deliver 10 to 15 goals a season. We just cannot rely on Mo Salah and Diogo Jota's goals all the time. What if both of them get injured? Where will the goals come from? That is a big, big concern. And yes, Ocampos is 27 years old, so he's not an old player. He's in the prime of his career. So if we could sign him right now, he could still offer a good 4-5 years of service for Liverpool. And Ocampos is a very experienced player. He already has 370 senior career games, and he also has the know-how of playing football in some of Europe's top leagues. He played in Italy, he played in France, he played in Spain, and he also has European experience, a lot of Europa League and Champions League games under his belt. And he can play on both wings, and also, apart from offering backup, he can even challenge Sadio Mane for starts right away, because Sadio Mane is not in the best of form, even though he helped Liverpool get the penalty and the red card yesterday. I still think that he needs to do a lot more, and it's a long way away, the Sadio Mane of 2 years ago. Let's hope that he can get back to that level very, very soon. And even though we have been rumored to be considering a transfer for Yves Bissouma, the Liverpool Echo now report that Liverpool do not consider the highly rated Bissouma as a transfer possibility at this stage, possibly due to the big asking price of Brighton. They probably want 40 to 50 million for Bissouma's services, and it has been reported earlier this week that Liverpool had made an opening offer for Bissouma, but the Liverpool Echo says that we are not really considering it. We all know Liverpool can often play transfers down, and out of the blue we announce them. So let's wait and see what happens with this one. I still remember very vividly that many Liverpool-based journalists said just 1 or 2 days before we officially announced Thiago's signing that we are not in for Thiago, we are not interested in him, even though German journalists reported for weeks and weeks that we are in talks with Thiago, we are in talks with Bayern Munich, and then bang, we signed him. So I don't really trust Liverpool-based journalists with these playing down transfers, so let's wait and see what happens. I still think that this Firmino injury is significant. It could come as a blessing in disguise. It could wake Liverpool up into making a transfer, because if we get injuries in the forward area, we could have the same fate as we had last season. Last season we were short at the back because of injuries. What if we get a season-ending injury in attack? I don't want that to happen, of course, but what if Firmino or Jota or Salah or Mane gets a long injury? We will be well short in the attacking areas, because I don't think Minamino and Origi would score the necessary goals required to challenge for the title. And Liverpool don't want to just have another season where we are fighting to finish in the top 4. We want to challenge for the title, and I think right now our starting 11 is good enough to do that. But is our bench good enough for a title challenge? What if we have injuries in key areas? I don't want to have another scenario like last season. And there are more and more reports coming out that Liverpool's talks with Jordan Henderson regarding a new contract are at an advanced stage, so there could be an announcement even next week or 2 weeks from now, which will be announced that Henderson signs a contract extension. I think it's just the finer details need to be ironed out, and I really, really hope that we extend the contract of Henderson and Mo Salah, because they are 2 key players for Liverpool still. And even though many pundits are raving about Cristiano Ronaldo going back to Manchester United, Graham Souness is not convinced that he will do it in the big games. He said every successful team has players where everyone is working to get the ball back. The top teams don't have any passengers, and if you are taking Ronaldo at this time, at 36 years of age, he ain't going to give you incredible running numbers and the hard yards. I've got a doubt about him. Juventus took him and signed him to win the Champions League, and they failed miserably in that department. They couldn't even get to a semi-final. He's not going to be the difference in many big games that Man United play. He will score goals, of course, because he is still a great finisher and he has been so athletic throughout his career. But in the bigger games against the better centre half, I'm not sure if Ronaldo will do it, according to Graham Souness. Imagine putting him against Virgil van Dijk. Yes, but Ronaldo, what he can do better than anyone at Man United is he can finish the chances, something that Martial and Cavani hasn't been able to do at the rate that is required for a title challenging team. Remember that Man United didn't really challenge for the title since they won it in 2013, which is 8 years ago. That's a long time for a big club like Man United to go without a title, especially because they already won 13 titles in the Premier League. Man United fans want to win the title, and I think Ronaldo helps them getting closer. I still don't think they will do it, but if they will, then Ronaldo will score a lot of goals for Man United, that's for sure. And Jurgen Klopp sounded worried about Firmino's injury. He was asked, is Firmino okay? And he answered, not really, probably a muscle injury, a hamstring, I hope it is not too big. And that just shows that Jurgen Klopp basically relies on most of his forward players to stay fit and to be in top form throughout the season. He said the goal we got against Chelsea was obviously very deserved. I think it is a clear penalty. We forced it in that situation. Second half, everyone thinks, come on, win against 10 men. There is a definite advantage in possession. You have to outnumber them and defend them really high. But the defensive structure changes in that case, that they are only defending slightly deeper, but they have 8 players defending that area around the box, so we couldn't use that. We had our shots from distance. I would have loved to have been a bit closer for the rebound from the player's point of view, but it was a good game. And I think what Liverpool failed to do yesterday is have fullbacks or wingers overlapping whoever had the ball. So in the instance of Mo Salah having the ball on the right, Harvey Elliott and Trent Alexander-Arnold were both tucked in. Instead of one of them, especially Trent Alexander-Arnold, should have bumped forward outside of Salah, giving him the option of slipping the ball to Trent and Trent whipping it inside the box. And on the other side, it was the same issue with Mane and Robertson and Henderson on that side. And Henderson is not used to being a left-sided centre mid, so he couldn't really cross the ball with his left foot. So I think it was a problem for Liverpool that we were just too narrow. Both Harvey Elliott and Trent Alexander-Arnold were tucking in midfield instead of helping Salah overlapping, and then Salah had to go out wide, and Salah should have been the one closer to the box and Trent should have been the one outside of him on the wing. That's my opinion, but for some reason Trent was tucking into midfield, and that really wasn't an effective strategy against a very deep, very low block of Chelsea. They had basically a 5-4-0 formation for the majority of the second half, and that was impossible to break down with Liverpool being so narrow. I think we lacked the width from the fullbacks, and that was maybe a tactical mistake from the players. Maybe Jurgen Klopp didn't instruct them properly at halftime. It's hard to tell from the outside, but that's just my opinion. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. See you later. Good night.